You're watching NNN on New Nintendo News. This is a gaming show where we keep you up to date with the latest Nintendo related gaming news. Moving on to our next story. Quite a few months ago, Apple held their annual keynote, and they unveiled Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil Village. They unveiled Death Stranding, all AAA, high fidelity, stunning PlayStation 5 games, but running on iPhones and iPads. I'm not gonna lie, my head was blown.
iPhone is the best mobile gaming platform in the world.
I'm not gonna lie, Apple, that's a flex. The games aren't playable on any of the lower models. You can only play these games on like the latest iPhone. But it's still technically impressive. Tell you what's not impressive though, the numbers that these games have sold. Because it looks like nobody wants this. Nobody's interested. It's not looking good, bruv. Reading an article on Video Games Chronicle, it says Resident Evil 7 on iOS has reportedly been purchased by fewer than 2,000 people. Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie, Serge, right, Capcom, because how long have I been asking for a brand new Resident Evil? Do you know what? I don't even want a brand new Resident Evil. Well, I do. I want a brand new exclusive Resident Evil running on Nintendo Switch. Why have you not given us that this generation, Capcom? There was money to be made. We've been tight before. You were there for us in the GameCube era. You were there for us on the 3DS and the DS. You were there for us on the Wii. Yeah, you weren't there on the Wii U, I get it. But come back home. Come back to us. So according to analysis by mobilegamer.biz, based on estimates from AppMagic, the game has been downloaded just over 83,000 times since it was released in July. Capcom has earned $28,140 from the game. This figure is prior to the 30% cut that Apple takes being deducted from the figures. Once deducted, it leaves a figure that suggests that even with some generous rounding up, you land at under 2,000 paying customers. In June, it was suggested that ports of Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Village, Death Stranding and Assassin's Creed Mirage all had similarly slow launches. It's not looking good, bruv. There's loads of reasons why these games haven't sold. There's loads of reasons. I can name just two right off the top of my head. I know that's not loads, but mobile games are normally free. $1.99, $4.99. They're charging £20 for this, $30 in some cases. That's too expensive for a mobile game. Not even Super Mario Run was that expensive, and people kicked off with that. Currently, Resident Evil 7 costs £20 on mobile platform. On PlayStation 4, it's possible to get the game for $13.99, which includes all of its DLC. And then you can get a PS5 upgrade for the game. So when all these alternative viable options are available, I'm not going to play it on iOS. Why have you done this, Capcom? And second of all, Resident Evil 7 is not a pick up and play game. Who's got time to play Resident Evil 7 on your phone? Where's my controller? These games do not lend themselves well to touch controls. I need an actual physical controller. How am I supposed to get scared? The screen's small. I mean, things do fare a bit better when you're playing it on an iPad, because at least the screen's bigger. And yeah, you can connect, a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller via Bluetooth to your phone or your iPad and play it that way. But really, this is not needed. We don't need Resident Evil on mobile. What we need is Resident Evil on Nintendo Switch, Capcom. Yeah, you give us Resident Evil on cloud service, so I do have access to Resident Evil on my Switch. However, it's not a native port. I need to make sure I've got good, consistent, strong, reliable internet. I just don't want to play it that way. I don't know why you decided to invest your time. And yeah, do you know what? It's probably not going to cost a lot. I'm asking for Capcom to make an exclusive Resident Evil game that costs money. It doesn't cost as much money to put these games over to iOS. However, 2,000 sales, was that worth it? The Switch is one of the best selling consoles of all time. Let me tell you, if you released a brand new Resident Evil, believe you would have made your money back. You would have made your money back, Capcom. And then some. But instead you're wasting time trying to do magic tricks and flex on iOS. Moving on to our next story. Oh my god, there's a game. It's quite old, but it's not been released yet. We got a trailer for this game, I'm sure, 2 years ago. 2-3 years later, and this game's still not here. But it is coming out this year. It is coming out this year. It looks cute. It looks creative as hell. The game I'm talking about is the Plucky Squire. The Plucky Squire is a 2D, 3D action platformer with this storybook aesthetic. But it looks great, it looks great. I love the art style, I love the character designs, they're so delightful, they're cute, they're charming. The Plucky Squire is developed by some guys called All Possible Futures. The game has a great gimmick where you're roaming around in a 3D world, but then at certain points in the game you can jump into the storybook, at which point the game turns 2D. It kind of reminds me of A Link Between Worlds on the 3DS, the Zelda game. You had to like jump onto the world and you turn into a painting so you could get around other areas. It reminds me of that. It also reminds me of those 2D levels from the Mario Odyssey game, which were some of the best parts in the whole entire game. Anyway, this game looks fantastic, it looks fun. All Possible Futures have just dropped a new trailer. It looks good. You've got side-scrolling, shoot 'em up sections going on.
Watch out, Jot. They're coming at you from all sides. Oh my.
I can tell this game's going to be varied. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to have a lot of charm. This game has a Nintendo-like level quality of charm. I'm excited to play it. I'm excited to play it. I genuinely think the end of 2024 is going to be super fun for me personally, because the games that are coming out, they're just going to... the happy times. We have Astro Bot coming out, which is going to be a fantastic platformer on PlayStation 5. Also got Lego Horizons coming out, which is available on the Switch and the PlayStation 5.
Dive deep into the cauldrons, climb up onto tall necks, and traverse other locations inspired by the original game.
I will be buying that on the Switch because I really want Lego Horizons to sell more on Nintendo Switch than PlayStation, because how wild would it be for a Sony IP to sell more on a rival system? I think that's going to happen. And then finally we're going to get the Plucky Squire. So that's 3 cutesy, charming, colourful platformer action adventure games that I've got to look forward to. And I'm excited. It's going to be a good year. Moving on to our next story, and I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not happy. Super Mario Bros. Was once the 2nd highest grossing animated film of all time, and now it's the 3rd. Yes, it looks like Inside Out 2 has surpassed the new Super Mario Bros. Movie to become the 2nd highest grossing animated film of all time. I'm fuming. When this new Super Mario Bros. Movie came out last year, I thought it could have been the highest grossing movie of the year. Lo and behold, Barbie and Oppenheimer came out, and then everybody wanted to go and see both of them back to back, which then meant that Barbie became the highest grossing film of 2023. Mario came in a very, very close second. Fast forward 1 year later, Inside Out 2 has been released now, and now it's knocked Mario down even more. Knocked Mario down a couple pegs. The sequel to Inside Out has earned $578.3 million in North America, and it's made $1.37 billion worldwide. Just so you're aware, the Super Mario Bros. Movie made $574.9 million last year in North America, and it made $787.1 million in the rest of the world, which led to a grand total of $1.36 billion. That's a lot. However, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not actually even bothered. I'm not actually that bothered, because Nintendo gave us an update in regards to the sequel to their new Super Mario Bros. Movie. Speculation says that the next Super Mario Bros. Movie is going to be centered around Donkey Kong and the DK universe. The only details that Nintendo have given us in regards to a new sequel of the new Super Mario Bros. Movie is the fact that they announced the release date for it. They said that the new Super Mario Bros. Movie will be releasing on April the 3rd, 2026. Hopefully the sequel will be able to dethrone Inside Out 2 and Frozen 2 in 2026. And I hope you can, Mario. I hope you can. Come on, Mazzo. Come on, Mazzo. that's what we have time for today, which is a very quick video. I'm really ill, so I've not had a lot of energy today. This video has not been very energetic. I'm ill. My throat's only just come back. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. Well, thank you for watching anyway. I do appreciate it. We will be back with another episode of NNN very soon. But up until then, thank you. Good night. Bye.